Well, I'm at wenningstrength.com, and today I'm going to show you some top exercises you can do with minimal to no equipment that will make your abs super strong and make your back super protected. All right, so the first exercise is the plank, and I know we've talked about this a lot, but it cannot be drilled into your head enough. But I'll show you some variations to it. So obviously the normal plank is going to be like this. You can do it off the floor, off your bed. If you're a heavier guy, I like these foam pads. And then just raise an arm. Raise an arm, raise a leg, or you can turn to the side. Now this is going to make that oblique really fire. And what I do at home is I'll just do what I'm showing you right now. Change, left, right, roll to the right, roll to the left. And I'll do it for like a minute. But the trick is that my body's having to stay super tight, all different ranges. That is going to make my abs super strong and protect my back. The next one is just kind of a cross-body crunch, but the real importance is that this leg is stretching off of the side of something. That is going to loosen the hip flexor. Why is this important? Well, it makes the abs work harder, but it also reduces back pain. So when my back's really pumped from doing deadlifts or squats or something really immensely hard, I'll do this kind of crunch and my back pain almost completely goes away. So if I'm going to work this left leg, I'm going to have my right arm back, and then I'm going to raise up and I'm just going to crunch it a little. But the importance is that this leg is stretching beyond the floor. So I have to lay on something kind of tall, and that's creating range of motion in that hip flexor, causing my abs, my lower abs, to have to work harder, but also reducing lower back pain due to helping realign the pelvis. So this muscle was huge in training Olympic lifters back in the old Soviet days, but this is kind of a long forgotten type movement that as you get stronger, you could actually even use an ankle weight. But I find that for most people, this is just enough to reduce the lower back pain and make the abs strong. So the next thing is we got to think about rotation too. So the abdominals are not only good for doing things linear like what most of us think, they also have a rotation capability as well. And we have to make sure that those areas are really strong. So what I like to do is take a band cross-bodied, then hold my hand over my fist just like this, and then turn my body straight. It doesn't seem like I'm doing a whole lot, but you do this for about a minute on each side, and you're going to find out how important those muscles really are. Now the key with doing this is I'm actually sucking my stomach in as hard as I can while I do this exercise. And this is just a regular 1-inch band. This isn't much tension, but man, this little bit of turn right here is a big deal. And if you're having back pain doing deadlift, squats, or running, or any of these types of things, this is great for all sports. Or even if you just have a general sit-at-home desk job, this is going to make your abs really strong and reduce lower back pain. The next exercise is very similar, but now we're going back linear, but putting a rotation to it. So I want to work this side of my abs. So I'm going to put this on my left side with the band behind me, cross, and then what I'm going to do is take my fist down to my toe, in that direction, while only using my abs. So the first thing I do is draw my stomach in and then pull this to the side. Again, this is not a very far range of motion, but remember that your abs are designed to be more of an isometric tensioner between your hips and your ribs. So this doesn't take much range of motion, but doing this for a minute on each side will have some immense gains in not only the aesthetics of your abs, but also the performance. So I find this is very similar to doing almost like a chop or swinging a sledgehammer, but you're in a controlled state. Therefore, this is really good for beginners, adolescents, so you don't increase injury rates in the gym, but a great way to do a crunch. Plus, remember, we're probably going to hurt our back when we're standing, not laying down. So it would make sense to do a lot of our ab training standing up and being in a standing position so we learn how to brace standing up. The next exercise is a suitcase carry. So the difference between a suitcase carry and a farmer's walk is you only use one side at a time. Well, one side at a time is going to cause the abs to work way, way more, especially on the opposing side. So all I'm going to do is just walk normal and try to not let this thing change my posture. So you don't want to be like this or like this. You want to just walk straight and normal, keeping everything locked in. I find the best way to do this is to suck your stomach in. Again, lock the stomach in tight, and you'll notice that it'll keep you locked up. So if I'm here, I'm normal. Now watch what happens when I suck my stomach in. It picks my chest up. That's a good position. So a high sternum is important for all these lifts, but especially when you're doing weight-bearing movements such as this, the suitcase carry. So a lot of times when people get confused on doing decline sit-ups, you're going to be still working abs, but these muscles right here is what you're going to hit a little bit more on the decline sit-up. Now, if I do this in a normal crunch, come back, come up, right? This is a normal decline sit-up. If I really want to smoke these areas or make this exercise extremely intense, I like to do these in crunches, and I'll unhook one leg, and then I'll only come halfway back, one leg at a time. You see how bad I'm shaking? It's because I have to stay so much tighter to do this one-legged. But this really makes that hip flexor super strong and makes my abs work tenfold. So if you're doing these, why don't you try unhooking a leg and only do the crunch part at the very bottom and see how that works. So in closing, we talked about abdominal strength. We talked about abdominal balance and coordination. Now, if you want aesthetics out of your abdominals, 70% of that's going to be done in the kitchen. But in my opinion, the abdominals is the cheap insurance for lower back issues, hip issues, and proper positioning. So you need to have strong abs to do this, and some of these exercises are going to help you tremendously. Now, if you need help on where to put these exercises, get a hold of us on the website, get on online coaching, or download some of our manuals where we can show you the programming and how to put this into play.